What's good, guys? Welcome back to another video. The scenario that we talked about yesterday where the weekly bias was towards the upside is currently playing out right now, and today we have the one and only news day that we have for the entire week. So chances are, if we're going to get an A-class setup, it's going to be today, and I'm going to break it all down in this video. Let's get into it. So just kicking things off on the daily chart so far. Yeah, yesterday we had we were talking about potentially getting some sort of bearish CISD, and that would be the only kind of like setup for yesterday. Now, ultimately, once you get closer to, that 9 a.m. kind of window, ultimately, instead of going bearish, you ended up getting bullish. While we did not have a trade yesterday, it doesn't mean that it's a bad thing because, well, crypto is going up now, which is amazing. We all want that. But now that it's going up, that is a really good sign because now we have confirmations and the play is super simple. Now, before we get into that, guys, if you have been trading for a while, Blueprint is closing in 5 days. If you've been thinking about it, if you're on the fence, just understand that we have had many people who have been trading for a long time. They are struggling to find any sort of consistency the moment they join Blueprint. It's like, boom, everything clicks. And then they start getting close to $10,000 worth of payout every single month once you average it out. And let me put it this way. While I've been able to achieve a pretty high win rate and I've been able to achieve a decent amount of profitability using the technical concepts that are within my system, that's not the primary thing you're going to be getting inside Blueprint, because chances are, if you're trading and you're not profitable yet, it's not a knowledge problem, right? It probably boils down to execution, and execution problems cannot be solved with more knowledge. But yeah, check it out. It's the first link in the description box below. I think you're going to find it really helpful. If you don't want to join, don't worry about it. Feel free to just absolutely skip it. Now, let's just get back into the video. So kicking things off on the daily bias, we are bullish, right? Just to remind you guys, on the weekly bias, we are also bullish in the sense that, all right, anytime we get any sort of dips below the weekly open, which was what we were looking for actually, we can kind of take advantage of that to buy low and then sell high, right? This is how you read the weekly bias, and then coming down into the daily bias, because yesterday we closed really bullish. Then right now, any time you go below the daily open, that is an opportunity for you to kind of like buy low and then potentially sell high later on down the line. Now, so far we're already above the weekly open. That doesn't mean it's too late. So right now I can see that on the daily chart, in the event that we come back into this zone right here, which is 73,000, that would be an interesting zone for us to get into, because that would kind of like align with the bullish order block on the daily chart. Now, are we going to go that low? Chances are not really, because if you take a look at the daily open so far, the daily open is at around 74,400. So if we come back down to here, 74,400. So again, we're already above the daily open. Now, prior to that, like at around 12 a.m. and actually throughout the entirety of Asia session, we were below the daily open. So that's probably a good sign. But yeah, anyways, I digress. Right now, we have a potential order block over here. And the moment the price closes, like within the next 12 minutes, if price closes above this level right here, that means that this entire block right here will become a bullish order block. So when I say the setup for today is going to be super straightforward, it's as simple as getting into bullish order block and then going towards the upside, looking for a trade towards the upside and around the hours of 7:30 a.m. New York to 9:30 a.m. New York, because that is the hour before news to the hour after news, which means that's the news window. And all you're going to look for is, again, you get a confirmed breakout above this order block. Even if you don't, that's not a problem at all, because, well, you have another order block right here. And then today, you're just going to literally trade it towards the upside. Like, today's probably going to be the most kind of like straightforward day of the week. So take advantage of it. Like, don't go slacking. Although I say that, but I have a dinner reservation later at a culinary class wars restaurant. Let me know in the comment section if you watch that show. The restaurants have been near impossible to book. But anyways, I digress. So right now, that's the situation on Bitcoin. And in order for this bullish scenario to kind of remain intact, we really do not want to see price closing below 74,100. If you do, that's a pretty bad sign, because that would kind of be a bearish CISD. So like, you don't really want to see that. Again, trading has two kind of like aspects to it, right? First, you have to have an idea about what the market should do, and then secondly, you need to actually wait for the market to give you a confirmation before you dive in and do anything about, well, basically before you dive in and turn the idea into an actual trade. So right now we have the idea that, okay, we should be bullish, and so we're waiting for the confirmations. If we get inverse confirmations, which basically just means kind of like rejections of our idea, then yeah, it's just going to end up being a no trade. It's as simple as that. Now let's take a look at Ethereum real quick, just to see, which one's kind of like worth taking. Now Ethereum so far, bullish bias, nothing too surprising about that. And right now, Ethereum is looking a whole lot stronger compared to Bitcoin. Or is it? Not really. No, it's kind of similar. So same exact setup on Ethereum. Like, I don't know which one you would fancy a little bit more. And let's take a look at Solana. Solana is looking a little bit weaker compared to Bitcoin and Ethereum. So yeah, primary, if I am trading crypto, then I would be prioritizing either Bitcoin or Solana. Now, what's interesting also is that oil dumped by a lot yesterday, like more than $10. And so far, all of your Forex pairs are kind of pumping as well. That is telling you that the US dollar is kind of going down at the moment. So that could also be why Bitcoin is pumping at the moment, right? Bitcoin's inversely correlated towards the dollar. Basically, if dollar goes up, Bitcoin goes down. If dollar goes down, Bitcoin goes up. So yeah, all in all, I think we have the ingredients for an A+ day. Just make sure you take advantage of it. But otherwise, I'll see you guys later on X for any live executions. If I see something happening on the charts, I'll try to post about it. But if not, like, you can just follow along my other trades as well. Like yesterday, got a nice win on oil, even though Bitcoin ultimately didn't end up giving us a trade signal. But otherwise, I'll see you guys soon. Ciao, ciao.